Why the hell did you take me any of those places? You just took me to a health food restaurant.
Slut, cheap. You don't take sluts out on a date.
Man.
Look, we only want one thing for you. Get your pants off.
I think Lady Di was your date. I had known you before, and you were like already hired. I mean, this is the woman.
I wish I'd known that. I wouldn't have dressed so much.
Well, you look great. And,
I borrowed pearls for that interview.
Yeah, you did a good job.
I wanted to really get this gig.
And then we went out to dinner, Dave, over at Crabcatcher.
Yes, downtown La Jolla.
Yes.
Good memory. Mm-hmm. That's where I met Tom Baker.
How'd that go? How was that dinner?
Still here.
Who, him?
Me.
Oh,
And Tom Baker left the 7% gratuity. Didn't that tell you something?
Oh, my God. And he had a calculator to figure it out. Yeah. And then critique the waitress on what she did wrong. Oh, my God.
Oh, and the great one was, if you can relive this story, Rackets.
Go ahead.
Of your boss in Denver. You've told it a couple times before, but your boss in Denver was wigging out and was suspicious of you when you came here for the interview.
What happened was, I was working in Denver before I came here, and the show never took off. You know, the radio station just had a total identity crisis. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they came to, you know, they were doing things like they'd put a nun in the studio with me so I'd be on my best behavior.
Really?
Yeah.
But be funny.
You know, my boss kept coming to me and said,
"You gotta think like a 35-year-old woman."
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had that lecture.
Why don't I do that?
Yeah.
Don't be yourself.
You know, why didn't you tell me any of this before you hired me?
Yeah.
You know? I don't know if you noticed. I'm a guy. God. I mean, I loved Denver, and I loved a lot about that stuff, but I hated these people so much. So anyway, and it's my fault that the show never really took off. It just never took off. And they hired a new program director, a new Thaddeus P. Smallwood.
Oh.
Yes.
And it turned out it was a guy that I had worked with before, so I thought, phew, I'm safe. 'Cause this guy had been trying to hire me at his new places for the last 3 years. Kept
so
calling me,
you knew
said,
he
come
liked
work
you,
for me.
yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, okay, phew, dodged a bullet on that one.
Excellent, yeah.
And he gets in, and I went down to sit and talk with him and said, how's it going, blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
we get talking about work and everything, and he says, well, what, are you asking me if your job is safe? No one's job is safe. Huh? What? So, being the lightning-quick reflexes boy I am, I didn't do anything.
Good job. How'd the wife take that?
Until finally, Beth convinced me that my days were numbered. Mm-hmm. And so I started looking around, and then I found that they had an opening at KGB in San Diego, came out here on a job interview. And, you know, it's not like I wasn't getting along with my boss, but it was very cool, very chilly. You know, we'd say hi and stuff to each other, but it was obvious that the guy did not dig me. And so I came out here on the job interview.
During a weekday.
Yeah. Towards the end of the show, I started talking like this.
I'm like on a Tuesday, you're faking laryngitis, right?
Yes.
Or something?
Yes, exactly. And I was not feeling at all well about 9:30 in the morning. I got to go home.
Very mysterious.
Didn't show up for work the next day because I was in San Diego. And I had to stay overnight because the cheap bastards wouldn't buy me a ticket and send me home the next day.
Radisson Hotel in Mission Valley, right?
Yeah.
And didn't they make you work an overnight shift in the meantime? Let's get our money out of this guy.
Grab a broom.
Yeah.
So they're dropping me off at the airport. And this was in February of 1990. And it was our program director, Ted
Edwards
at the time, who coincidentally has two first names which are the same when you think about it.
Yes.
You know, Tedwards. I'm Bob Bobbs. What?
Bob Roberts, yeah.
So he drops me off at the airport, says goodbye. I feel pretty good that things went okay. And I get one foot in the airport and I hear, Dave Rickards, please come to the nearest white courtesy phone. Dave Rickards. And I'm thinking, okay, they're jacking with me.
Right.
I thought it was Chainsaw.
Chainsaw! Dave! You start today!
And I get on the phone, it's Beth.
Yeah.
She's in tears. She's hysterical because she's stranded on the side of the road in the middle of a blizzard in Denver.
Oh, no.
And I'm looking up. Well, what's that done to my flight? Oh, it's canceled. Yeah. So I call back to the radio station. They take me back to my hotel, and now I got to figure out something to say to my boss. So Beth, finally, it turns out Beth gets a ride home
Right.
from where she was stranded on the side of the road. She was only about a half a mile from our house, but it was a whiteout.
Right.
You could not see.
See a thing?
Huh, Colorado, what do you know? And she calls me and she says, Steve, the program director who hated me, has been calling all day
Yikes.
to get me on the phone. He
Right.
wants to speak to you.
Right.
And I said, tell him I got a fever. I can't talk. She said, I've been telling the whole thing. He wants to talk to you.
Right.
So we hatched a scheme, and Beth did a 3-way call.
Sweet. Because this was really before cell phones. You couldn't have called him on a cell phone.
No, it's
Have
just
one, yeah.
no, it's just our home phone.
Okay.
So she's at home on the phone, and I'm in my hotel faking the flu in San Diego on a job interview,
You should have been in Denver.
and my boss in Denver. And I told Beth, I said, give me like 30 seconds on the phone with him, and then ring the doorbell, because the dogs will bark.
Right.
And it'll sound like I'm home. I
Right.
can't have my dogs barking if I'm on a job interview, can I? So, about 30 seconds later,
Yeah.
Higgins, shh, quiet, Higgins.
You're saying this from the Radisson Hotel?
Yes.
Of the extension of
Right.
your phone in Denver where your dogs are barking.
Beth's holding up the phone to Higgins. Bark, bark, bark.
Ding dong.
Yes, exactly. And the ruse worked.
Because your
Sweet.
PD was suspicious that you were out of town. He didn't believe your sickness or something's up.
Well, the reason he was suspicious because another rat bastard in the industry told him that I was interviewing for the job.
Who did that?
What's his ass out in Atlanta? What's his name? Don
Anthony.
Don Anthony.
Don
That's who
Anthony.
you used to call me up and pretend to be. I've never met the guy. I don't know that guy.
Don Anthony Patalbusters. He's kind of an agent who places people around the country.
Yeah,
He
Don
had,
Anthony.
he
What he'll
actually-
do is for a fee, radio stations will go to him and say, hey, we need someone to do afternoons. So Don Anthony.
And KGB loved Don Anthony because Don Anthony found me from Phoenix and placed me here in San Diego.
Yeah.
And then Don Anthony did not like Dave.
Well, see, I had gone to Don Anthony at least a half a dozen times in the past.
Right.
Saying, I would like very much for you to represent me.
Right.
And it's money for him.
Right.
I could be the crappiest DJ ever, but it's money for him.
And he wouldn't take you?
I don't know. He never found anything for me.
Right.
So here I show up at this big-time radio station in San Diego, and KGB for the industry is a pretty well-known radio station. And so the morning job at KGB is a real cherry assignment. But Don Anthony, who had decided he wasn't going to represent me, decided,
I don't like that records kid.
they're talking to Don Anthony
Right.
on the phone saying, we just interviewed this Rickards guy. What do you think of him? And because he wasn't representing me, because he
Right.
wasn't going to get paid for it,
Right.
Can't go with him.
Yeah.
There was a guy. I had to go through all the tape. They gave me the keys to the car, and I was the guy who got to pick who I got to work with. And I'm listening to all these tapes. From the gamut. Hi, it's Billy Bob in Lubbock, Texas. Yeehaw! Hi, this is Clee. This is the person.
I've got Cleve's tape here.
Hey, this is Vinny from Syracuse. I got your music right here. I mean, the gamut. The best guy was a guy named Ian Case from Quad Cities. And there was another guy.
It could have been Ian Shelley and Chainsaw.
Yeah, and there's another
Wow.
guy. And I'm just going, it's like the auditions and the producers. Next! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! I mean, I still have wall marks in my house where I was throwing the cassettes as I ejected them. Next. Finally, I say, all right, I'm putting this box of broken dreams on the passenger seat of my Honda with the sheep covers, David, that you got to enjoy on your audition day. And I said, I'm driving
I
up
was
the...
only 40 years old.
I'm
Wow.
driving up the 5 until I find the successor. Thank God I put in Rickards tape on Manchester Avenue. pulled right over. I said, "You're the one. Your head's above everybody else. This is the one." And I get back to the station. I'm da-da-da. I talk to Rickers. Da-da-da. This is the guy. I'm telling you, this is the guy.
Oh, you drank coffee.
Let's get Don Anthony on the phone. Is Don on the phone? Get Don Anthony on the phone.
Where are those pictures?
You know, I don't think we should go with him necessarily. I don't represent him, but I will not be getting a commission. So, Cookie, I don't think that that's a good idea.
Hey, Don, sorry. So I had to make a list. A big, long list of why we need Dave, and I got conference
What are you, in
calls.
third grade?
I had to make a big
Remember
list.
how things were back then?
Oh, I remember.
A big thing, and we had Phil Melrose from corporate on
Yeah.
the phone in Sacramento ownership,
Yeah.
and da-da-da. It was a big three-way conference call, and here's
Yeah.
Cookie all by himself. Are you sure, Cookie? Are you sure, Cookie? I mean, $4 biceps looking at me, and I finally said, yeah, duh, listen to the tape.
So Don Anthony is giving me, here's Caesar giving me the thumbs down. You know, and I'm about to get fired in Denver, and I want this job. And there's only two places Beth wanted to live, Colorado or California. I'm thinking, I've scored.
Yeah.
Took it to Colorado, and I'll take it to California.
Yeah.
And I think I've scored, and here's Don Anthony giving me the thumbs down, and the only reason is because he doesn't represent me.
Yeah.
And so what does he do after that? Then he calls my current boss and tells him that I'm interviewing for the job. Rats me out.
That's rat bastard behavior.
double
Rats me out. But thanks to Higgins and Spencer for barking on the
God
phone,
love 'em.
he could not prove that I wasn't at my house.
That's brilliant.
I owe my career to
Genius.
those dogs.
Yes, you do.
That is genius!
I get,
Genius!
and I went back and quit.
The next day? How long did it take?
It actually took us about a week for them to get together and offer me the job and for me to make up my mind. And I went into his office and I quit, and I thought he was going to freak out. No, I mean, he did freak out. I thought he was going to have a heart attack.
I still have your audition tape, you know.
Do you really?
I do. It's in the office.
Which office?
Right over there.
Let's hear it.
Back when Dave used to have a high voice.
Hi!
No, he was 6 years old.
Yes, 6
just the
plus
one with
6 is 12.
Is this the one with the Ditka bit on it?
Ditka.
No, you want to play it?
It's
Wheels.
got Dicka,
Wheels.
and it's
Play it?
got,
Wheels.
All right. If you find it, I'll play it.
I think you have a joke of the day. I'm not sure. But
About
there's
3 seconds long. It's a knock-knock joke. All right. Quick time out. You're gonna listen to the hilarious tape that got me this job. Trust me, you'll be on Don Anthony's side in about 3 minutes here.
Stop it.
It's KGB. All the cool guys are named
Dave.
Yes. Took you a minute to think about that one.
I had to think about who the heck I was this morning.
How you doing, Dave?
Hey, this is a great show.
Thank you.
You guys, I love listening to you guys talk about, and you know, you're Kramer the music maker. You guys go on and on and on about it. Shelley. Yeah.
I just love the way you depicted us going on and on and on about it.
Never stops, does it?
Well,
No, it's great stuff.
Thank you,
I love
Dave.
listening to you guys go on about it, and what's really funny, it just kind of reminds me. I've always wanted to be in radio and stuff like that, and go through college, and I always thought, well, I got to do this, I got to do that. Well, I went in an entirely different way. I went into video, and I'm having a great time.
good.
But you don't get to yak at people and hang up on them on the phone too.
Yeah.
It's really kind of fun.
Well, I'm glad you like the show. We're about to change that for you, okay?
Oh, good. Oh, wonderful, great.
See you, Dave.
Okay, take care.
Thanks for calling in. All right, this will be a lot of fun. When you get a
Be proud of it.
Huh?
You should be proud of this tape.
I hate my stuff.
It's what brought you here.
I hate.
It's what gave you to us. Throne boy.
I haven't heard this in about 10 years.
Remember, now, this stuff is from 1988, 1989, okay? I had 2 good bits in my whole career.
I remember
Here in just a moment.
I remember hearing it and I said, all right, this is really good, but I hear something that has even more potential. I hear things, great qualities. And this is why we should do it. This is why we should pull the trigger on this guy.
When you apply for a job in radio, of course, you send your resume and, some kind of a cover letter, but you also send a tape of your work.
Well, in the olden days, you sent a tape. Now they burn CDs and send them.
Yeah, you send a
Yeah.
copy of your work,
Right.
something that they can listen to, a little bit of your radio show.
So this was your show in Denver.
Yes. Oh, and by the way,
Yeah.
this show was called The Dawn Patrol.
Oh,
Well, I brought that name from Denver to here.
very good.
So here you go.
The Dawn Patrol with Dave Rickards and Steve-O.
This is where we separate the men from the boys.
1035 The Fox.
Zsa Zsa probably will not pick up the phone unless we say we're someone important. Not that we aren't important.
No. She probably has some manslave answering the phone.
Who's the dude who is romantically linked with her?
It's the Merv, right?
Merv Griffin?
Yeah.
All right, we can pretend to be Merv.
Hello.
Hello, is Zsa Zsa there, please?
Who's calling?
It's Merv.
1 second.
Thank you.
It's the prince.
It's a problem.
Kind of sounded like him.
Hello?
Zsa Zsa, darling.
Who is that?
Dave and Steve-O, you're in the air in Denver.
Oh, yes, okay.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Saw you on Donahue.
Yeah, we are suing Johnny Carson, though.
You are?
Yes. There's a limit how much I take from, the typical man, when you are down, he kicks you. I know him 30 years.
Well, I know.
That Johnny Carson, my God, I have a dog called Johnny. He's just like him. He's so horny that we have him fixed today.
Oh.
He's right now today at the vet.
Zsa Zsa, you're going to have him castrated?
I don't want him castrated. He should have been long ago because every time he's married to replace around with other women.
Well, he's never had you. He's never had a real woman, has he?
Well, he'll never have me. Proposition me often enough, but he'll never have me.
Oh, that's right.
I don't like a man who sleeps with everybody in town. I hate that. I don't know if he heard about AIDS. Maybe he didn't hear about it.
Yeah, well, you certainly held your own on Phil
I
Donahue
will
last week.
always hide my own because I tell the truth and those people are lying. And people lie forget. They have to be geniuses to remember what they lied.
Yeah.
I don't lie.
We have a problem in Denver, Zsa Zsa.
What is it? I love Denver. My God, I used to go up there skiing, and there's a horse ranch up there in the mountains.
Well, only you can help us with this problem.
Exactly. We have a quarterback by the name of John Elway.
Oh, I know so little about football.
I know, but listen, he is tired of all the publicity, and he can't take criticism.
What, he can't say the word criticism? Or he can't take it?
He can't take criticism.
Well, if he can play football, then he should take the word criticism too. Otherwise, he shouldn't play football.
Yeah, that's what we
The moment you're in
figured.
the public eye, you must be enough strong to take criticism, or you can't be in the public eye.
Well, Zsa Zsa...
I listened to Johnny Carson. I inserted yesterday Mr. Bush. He said the president can't get out of the house, out of the White House, because he has to watch Mr. Quayle.
Yeah,
I
well-
mean, what kind of remarks? This is a
I
man who
don't-
runs our country, for God's sake. If he
I know.
belittle everything, then
Zsa
what
Zsa.
kind of a country do we
Zsa
run?
Zsa, it's a travesty, I know. Listen, the deal with John Elway, though, there's only one thing. There's only one person who can stand up to the media and take the criticism and be a real man to lead our football team, and that's you. We want you to be our quarterback.
I would love to be a quarterback. What does a quarterback have to do?
Well, he gets $2 million a year for
Oh, I
playing
love it
football on
already, but I
Sundays.
think they're getting battered, and I hate to be battered.
Well, you
But
won't get-
That's interesting to be
Zsa Zsa.
I threw out
Zsa
one year
Zsa.
the first baseball ball here.
Hello, Zsa Zsa. To get battered, though, you'll get to wear pads, and the policemen will be your friends here then.
But the policemen are all my friends. Only this one is gay. He doesn't like
He's
me.
gay. Oh, okay.
But usually gay men are my good friends, but this one didn't like me.
Well, you consider the offer, okay?
Well, I'm very seriously interested.
Consider it an invitation.
Send us an invitation. I'm coming. I like sports.
All right, well,
Okay.
I
you're
will
invited.
think about the policeman. I'll give you such a good kick you won't believe it.
I know you will. I know you will, darling. Tell Joan Rivers we said hi, okay?
I will. All right, guys.
Nice speaking with you. 2 words. Zsa Zsa needs to hear. Dave and Steve-O sitting under clouds. It's going to be foggy again this morning. Fog banks rolling in. Light snow is possible. 42 degrees for a high. Still at pre-dawn, we're at 32 degrees downtown in Denver. Young Ernest made an interesting observation during your newscast, Steve-O.
Oh?
Of a terrible, flagrant mispronunciation. Uh-oh. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with Mike Ditka for Budget Rent-A-Car.
Now, what does he say?
Mike is a big strapping man. He's, Super Bowl coach. He's, a well-known celebrity football coach. But he can't say wheels.
Wheels.
He can't say wheels.
What does he say?
Wheels. Wheels. Listen to this.
I said, okay. They said, Mike,
Budget Rent-A-Truck is the toughest thing on wheels. I said, wait a second, boys. You want me to stand there on roller skates and say that Budget Rent-A-Truck is the toughest thing on wheels?
Hey,
what?
Relax. It doesn't put under a lot of pressure. Take it easy on it.
Well, he says whales, though.
Come on!
Ernie has a phone call into Lake Forest, so we can call the Bears training camp and get Mike on the phone and ask him to sing Proud Mary.
Sweet home, Chicago.
They're also busy. Dusting off the George Halas statues, probably.
Tuesday, probably film day.
Office?
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
You're in the air. We're looking for Mike Ditka, please.
He's not in the office.
He's not?
No.
Oh, can we leave a message for him?
Sure.
Dave and Steve-O calling. We're with the Save the Whales Foundation.
Yes.
Well, if you would give him a call and ask him, we're looking for contributions, celebrity spokespeople. We've heard him on the radio quite a bit, and we know that he does an excellent job being a spokesman for organizations and groups. And we would love for him to take an interest in the Save the Whales Foundation.
Okay, I'll give him the message.
Okay, have you got that all down there?
Yes, I do.
Save the...
Whales.
No, it's not whales. It's
Wells.
Wells.
Pardon me?
Wells.
Okay.
Wheels. Okay. Oh, bye.
Nice. We'll be calling New York or something? How about that defense?
You're hired.
Funny stuff.
You had me at hello.
You're lucky you didn't have to cough up a tape to get this gig.
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah, but I destroyed it once I got the job.
Smart.
Yeah.
The comments and opinions of Dave Shelley and Chainsaw may not reflect those of the staff and management of KGB-FM, but they probably do. KGB.
Ladies and gentlemen.
1015 KGB, the best of Dave Shelley and Chainsaw Show. It's Boyer with you, and this is usually the time when I tell you the 1015 KGB Sombrero Mexican Food race team will be hitting the track at Cajon Speedway. We will not. We have the night off. Randy Wallace in the 1015 KGB Carl Strauss Lakeside Radiator race team. He also has the night off. The entire Bomber division taking a week off. Street stocks, GA modifieds, ponies, and late model sportsmen, as well as the demo derby on track tonight. 5:15 qualifying, 6:45 the green flag drops on the fastest 3/8 mile paved oval in the West. A classic Ron Santo broadcast call as well as a little bit of sadness in the Windy City for the Padres. That in the on-deck circle now with the Dean of American Sportscasters on that report. Let's go and say hello, Cookie Randall.
Hello again, everybody. In the sports world, Sammy Sosa took care of the Padres' 3-game win streak yesterday at Wrigley.
3-2. Sosa. High fly ball with the wind. Here it goes. Deep right center field. In the bleachers and gone. Like I said, good time for the wind to pick up. Or in Garbus's case, a bad time for the wind to pick up. 2-1 Padres. Sosa has number 8.
Thanks for the whammy. Basically inviting the wind to knock that one out, Ted Leitner. One of 4 Cubs homers yesterday at Wrigley Field. Ben Davis cracked a solo shot for the Padres. Not enough as Chicago wins 8-3. They'll play again today. First pitch 11:20 our time on News Radio KOGO. Padres back to 5 games out of first as the division-leading Dodgers beat Cincinnati 7-3 yesterday. You know, that home run by Sosa made him only the 4th man to hit 200 homers at Wrigley Field. Dave Rickards grew up a Cub fan. Dave, can you name the other 3 men, besides Sosa now, who have hit 200 homers at Wrigley Field?
Ernie Banks.
Ernie Banks is one of them.
Billy Williams.
Billy Williams is one of them.
And good old number 10.
Who would that be?
Ron Santo, my favorite player as a boy.
Ron Santo is now the Cubs color man. And
oh, no!
And yes, Ron Santo is one of 4 men to have hit 200 home runs at Wrigley Field with Sosa, a sure Hall of Famer, Ernie Banks, Billy Williams, 2
already
Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famers.
And
Santo belongs.
Santo belongs in the Hall. A great fielding, Gold Glove third baseman, Fantastic hitter.
He was a little chunky for his spot there, but he managed to get around all right.
So what? And now he's a colorman. Remember this great Ron Santo moment, Dave?
Here's the pitch. Swung on, fly ball left field. Brant Brown going back. Brant Brown drops the ball.
no!
He drops the ball. 3 runs will score, and the Brewers have beaten the Cubs.
I love that clip. That was back, that was back in '98 when the Cubs had a chance to clinch their division title. And if he'd have caught that ball, they would have clinched the division title. Instead, they had to go an entire weekend before clinching a tie and having a 1-game playoff, and they lost that one for the title.
They blew it.
But that catch would have clinched them the division title outright. And Ron Santo, you hear his agony. That's from the very depth of his heart. A victim of the 1969 Cubs collapse to the Mets. The Cubs were in the driver's seat that summer for what was hoped to be the first pennant since 1945.
Santo was on that team.
The first World Series championship, perhaps, since 1908. And to have the playoffs perhaps slipping away at that moment, every molecule, every atom of his being felt that dropped ball.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, fly ball left field. Brant Brown going back. Brant Brown drops the ball.
no!
He drops the ball. 3 runs will score, and the Brewers have beaten the Cubs.
Should be in the hall, Ron Santo.
You should be in the hall just for that baseball call.
Why not?
Oh, no!
Hey, there was trouble in Minnesota last night. Former Twin Chuck Knobloch appeared in the Minneapolis Metrodome for the first time since he asked for and received a trade back in 1998. The Twins shipping him off to the Yankees. The Minnesota crowd let him have it in the form of booze and booze bottles, batteries, golf balls, hot dogs. The game was delayed for 12 minutes. The PA announcer, he took the rowdies to task.
Your attention, please. If the trouble does not stop in left field, the game will be forfeited and the Yankees will win. Now quit this.
Ooh, you hate to get scolded by the PA announcer that early in the season, bub. Play resumed. The evil Twins beat the Yankees 4-2. George Steinbrenner, your thoughts?
He started it.
Well, you're right this time. San Diego Gulls Hockey Club went into Boise, Idaho last night, trailing the Taylor Cup Best-of-7 Championship Finals 0-2. The Idaho Steelheads dominating the series, as they had during the regular year when they beat the Gulls 5-1. The Gulls only 1-5 against their championship opponent, and now down 0-2. They go into Game 3. They managed to tie in regulation 3-3, but in overtime, the final score 4-3. Game 4 will be tomorrow night, also in Boise. Oh, I'm sorry, did I mention the Gulls won that game 4-3? Now down 2-1 with a chance to bring it even tomorrow in a game also at Boise, oh my. Meanwhile, in the National
Now, the Manager's Corner, with the thoughts and opinions of the American League's winningest manager, the Orioles' Earl Weaver. And now, to the Manager's Corner with Earl Weaver.
Well, Bill Whitehouse, Earl, from Frederick, Maryland, wants to know why you and the Orioles don't go out and get some more team speed.
Team speed, for Christ's sake. You get f***ing bases, getting picked off, trying to steal, getting thrown out, taking runs away from you. You get them big cock***ers that can hit the f***ing ball out the ballpark and you can't make any damn mistake.
Well, certainly this show is going to go down in history, Earl. Terry Elliott of Washington, D.C. wants to know why you don't use Terry Crowley as a designated hitter all the time.
Well, Terry Crowley's lucky he's in f***ing baseball, for Christ's sake. He was released by the Cincinnati Reds. He was released by the Atlanta Braves. We saw that Terry Crowley could sit on his f***ing ass for 8 innings and enjoy watching a baseball game just like any other fan, and has the ability to get up there and break one open in the f***ing ninth. So if this cock***er mind his own business and let me manage the f***ing team, we'd be a lot better off.
Skitball Association What is up with the Sacramento Kings and their comeback ability against the Phoenix Suns? Earlier this year, they were down 28 points at Phoenix and won that game. 2 games ago, they overcame a 17-point deficit to beat the Suns. Last night, the Sacramento Kings advanced to the second round of the playoffs by overcoming a 19-point deficit. 89-82 the final, eliminating Phoenix 3-1, forcing a date with the Lakers for Game 1 of the second round on Sunday. Elsewhere, Philadelphia lap danced the Pacers out of the playoffs 3-1. Toronto even up with the Knicks 2-2. And Dallas and Utah decide with Game 5 tonight. In other sports, David.
Ask that pretty pink ballerina pirouetting past you on southbound Ace.
8:35. 5 seconds.
Mother.
Here 101.5. KGB Sports Network. Oh, my.
1015 KGB, Best of Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw Show. Whenever you have a question about how to raise your kids, what should you do? You should email or get a hold of us because we are your touchstone with parental reality. Last week, one of our listeners sent us an email. What do we do about prom night? What do we do about prom night? Here was the very problem faced by a concerned parent. The email for you now on the Best of Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw. This is the 1015 KGB.
All right, 7:15 here on the KGB. It's Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw with you. Email to the show, dsc@101kgb.com. Dear Dave, my son is going to his senior prom in a few weeks. Is it prom time? I guess it is. You go to prom?
I went to my senior prom, yeah.
What about junior prom?
Didn't go. That was when I was dating Old Dumb Dan.
So why wouldn't you go?
I asked him if he would take me, and he said, yes, I would drop you off. He didn't care to go to the proms. He was a little too cool for that.
He's too cool for the
a
prom.
cat to go to the prom.
What is Old Dumb Dan up to these days?
I think he's probably slapping together phone equipment at Western Electric down there on Wilshire Avenue.
What was Old Dumb Dan's last name?
I probably shouldn't say it on the air. He might sue.
Can we look him up and try and get Old Dumb Dan on the phone?
We could try.
Why don't you give Godboy over there his last name? And would he still be in Oklahoma City?
I can't imagine him leaving.
See if you can do a search on Old Dumb Dan. Maybe just 411 operator Old Dumb Dan, Oklahoma City, and see if you can find him. I'd love to have. Love to interview Old Dumb Dan. After all, we talked to Tina Piccioni that one time.
Oh, I know.
She was fun.
But Tina was fun. Dan won't be.
Hello, I'm Old Dumb Dan. He'll be a little more quiet. Why? He was
just a quiet.
Quiet talker?
Quiet talker. Yes.
Did you bag Old Dumb Dan?
Several times. Well, he was a perfect guy. He didn't say much.
Old Dumb Dan was the one who had to go, just scrambling out the window with his britches around his feet?
Whatever. Who knew that Mom and Dad would come home from the movies early?
And who exactly baptized him with the moniker Old Dumb Dan?
My mother.
That sounds like Darlene.
Oh, of course.
That totally sounds like a Darleneism.
Because he was just so smirky with her. He was like Eddie Haskell with her. He'd go, hi, Mrs. Dunn. And she just hated him.
You sure he wasn't saying it more in of a "Hi, Mrs. Dunn" kind of way?
I don't know. We had a chair with a footstool with an ottoman, and he used to scratch out little messages to her because the nape of the fabric would, he could scratch out and he'd scratch out, hi, Mrs. Dunn, just to let her know he'd been there when she wasn't. He was something.
Wow.
He was something.
That didn't sound psycho at all.
No, she was.
Allie decided to scratch her name into the back of my leather chair in the dining room. Pretty happy with that.
Wait, what's the user? Nail
or fingernail?
Fingernail. Yeah, good.
And those 4-year-olds, they have such great handwriting. So that's right there in the back of her.
It doesn't even look like it was properly lettered to show her chair.
It just cracks me up that a kid would, go up to a leather chair and scratch her name into it. Allie. That's all it says. And then, when I busted her for it, you could almost tell she's like, dude, how do they know it was me? Foiled. Curses.
They always find out.
Cracked my scheme.
Did you have her declawed?
Sawyer.
But it just cracks me up that, she knows she's doing something bad, but she puts her, the only
Right.
thing she scratched in was her name. Allie, they'll never catch me.
She's got to learn to start scratching it. Carly.
Carly, that's right. Or Daddy.
Or Mommy, yeah.
Higgins.
At least there's some plausible deniability there.
Well, anyway. Oh, old dumb Dan's got an unlisted number.
That figures, because he always had a bit of paranoia.
Yeah.
He's frightened by things.
Bastard.
Yeah, well, whatever. So he wouldn't take me to the prom, but in my senior year, I had dumped him, and I was dating Matt. And Matt took me to the senior prom, and we had a lovely time.
Who dumped who?
I dumped old Dan.
You dumped old Dan?
Well, because he wouldn't take me to the prom, and he was uncooperative with a lot of things. And, he graduated from high school, and he was living in his mother's garage, and he was still...
And he was going after your mom.
And he had the paper route, which I thought was, boy, this isn't going nowhere.
Paper route?
Yeah.
A senior?
19
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever?
Oh, yeah.
A
Morning
bicycle
and
paper
evening.
route.
No, he would do them in the 69 Mustang Mach 1 with the louvered back, but he'd roll the window down. Oh, yeah, he had a great car.
That's the only
really
reason?
Why, yeah, it was a great car. And the attitude with my parents. Did
you ever bag him in the car?
Yeah. Small back seat. But he could chunk papers out one side and the other. He had a
While he was bagging you? He could drive, chuck papers, and bag you all at once?
No.
That's a multitasker.
No.
All right. Well, anyway, here's the email. I never went to any of my proms.
Never did?
No.
Neither
you went
did
to
I.
one of the dances, didn't you?
And I went to one dance my entire high school career.
Yeah, me too.
That's
me
it.
Too.
One.
Yeah.
But 4 years in high school, I went to one dance.
Well, that's how I was.
But you know what I think is, because I wasn't dating girls. What I think is the coolest thing is, it never even occurred to me, is these people who go to prom just as friends. I wish I'd been smart enough to do that.
Yeah.
Just
would still had a good time.
Yeah, just take a girl that I was friends with and go to prom.
But then the inferred pressure of an impending romance would think, why don't you take nice little Alice from down? Okay, I think I'll do that. We'll be
horse-faced Alice.
Oh God! And then and then both sets of parents. Isn't it nice that they're going out? And then you have to see him, and you're both standing there in pictures. Ooh.
But what if it's a girl that you're actually friends with? I mean, that you're actually good friends with.
That would be better.
Then you don't care. I mean, there's no worry. I mean, you like to take pictures with someone that you're friends with.
But there's such the romantic overtones of
Right.
going to prom.
Right.
It's like, if you're not going to prom and if you're not going to by the end of the night.
Not necessarily, or just the impending threat of that, and you're not looking or behaving like friends anymore. Suddenly you're queen on the wedding cake here tonight.
But if we were Shelley and I could go to prom and just be total friends.
Now.
But I mean, we could, Shelley is probably, aside from my wife, the only other woman that I spend time with. We could have, you and I, the way our friendship today.
Where are we going
could go
to dinner first?
Well, I don't know. You're buying.
I buy it.
Yeah.
No way. I'm not going.
I'm taking horse-face done to the prom. Come on.
Are you renting a limo? Because I'm buying a new dress.
Now, Jason went with just a friend.
Did you?
And that worked out
My
good.
junior prom, yeah. A friend that I'd known since we were 8 years old.
Yeah.
And there was no pressure.
No pressure at all.
Did you bag her at the end?
No way.
What are you, gay?
Come on.
He's Mormon. There's no impending romance. Come on.
See, I wish I had done that.
But kids didn't do that back in our day.
Don't lump me in your day, girl. You're in a different decade than me.
Well, still, in my day and your day, they didn't
Your
do
day and
that.
my day are not the same day.
I know. Did they chainsaw? Chainsaw's my day.
We had fun at ours. Big table of 6. We did the whole thing. The big car, swimming at the end. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Oh. Did you bag your prom date?
Come on. Come on.
Well, you're winking and nudging. Come on.
I think we kind of winked and nudged, but we didn't quite bag.
Yeah. We didn't bag either.
Yeah.
But we had a big party afterwards, and it was great fun, and all our friends came over.
Weren't on your back, legs up in the air at senior prom. You?
Come on.
You?
I never bagged that guy.
Easy peasy done?
I was not easy peasy.
Much.
I did out with old dumb Dan for 2 years.
Yeah?
And then I dumped him, and I thought, I'm going to take it slow.
I'm very happy with my celibate life.
No, I dated this guy, but I just wasn't bagging him.
Jeez, what a
I'm
rip.
reclaiming my virginity.
What a rip.
Something like that.
Did you go to any of these proms, Boyer?
No, I didn't. Senior prom night, I was fishing.
What a bunch of dork nerds we are.
Well, back in my day, it wasn't cool. The cool kids didn't go to the prom. It was just for the nerds.
So
at least
what did
that's
you do, Ruth?
At least that's what we said.
Oh,
But it wasn't like I was dating boys much in high school anyway.
they didn't have any money, did they?
Well, no, I hung out with all the popular girls and kind of got the leftover boys who, couldn't
Sloppy
get the
seconds.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
So did you go to prom?
Nope. No one asked me, but I didn't even have an interest in going.
I'll bet prom in the Amish country was something else. You ride a horse up, there's a guy with a jug and a washboard with a string attached to it.
Yeah, you take a little hay ride afterwards,
All by candlelight.
Some guy with a homemade bass fiddle and a washboard doing Waylon Jennings tunes.
Good God. Kill me now.
Hey, Waylon's cool.
Up against the wall, redneck mothers. That'd be the prom theme.
Well, my son is going to the senior prom in a few weeks. He and his date are going with 3 other couples. The kids have decided to get a couple of rooms at the hotel where the prom is being held so they don't have to drive home late at night.
Good idea.
Okay, we have a difference of opinion already in the studio. Let me continue with the letter.
Okay.
That's 4 couples, 8 kids, 2 rooms. So it'd be 2 couples per room.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm behind the times. The parents of the other kids are all fine with this. They've given their kids money to pay for the rooms. Even the parents of my son's date are okay with it. I'm not an idiot. I know that if kids are going to have sex, there's not a whole lot I can do to stop them, but I feel that paying for a hotel room is the kids' equivalent to saying, go ahead, have sex with each other. It's not like this girl is my son's girlfriend. They're just going to the prom as friends.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be wrong for them to do anything sexual with each other, and I want him to understand this. No matter what I tell him about not doing anything with this girl, I think it defeats the purpose if I pay for a hotel room for them. What do you think? Should I be the evil parent and hold my ground? Or am I overthinking this?
Well, in some ways you can make too big a deal out of it, and you're giving him an idea that he never had,
This, by the way, obviously comes from a woman.
Yeah. You think?
Yes.
You know what? I was really concerned up to the point where she said, my son. Then it's, you know what? Pay for the room, whatever. Who cares if he gets laid?
What do you mean?
Well, if this, the daughter, if she had a daughter.
Oh, my son, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Every father wants their son to get laid, and every father wants his daughter to maintain virginity to age 30. I would
the old
imagine.
double standard, of course.
But this woman's son is going to be with some woman's daughter.
That's right.
Yeah, well, the parents of the daughter put up, part of the rent. So
Well, maybe they really are just friends, and they're really not going to do anything.
Now, Jason Vaughn, who went to prom, says 9 times out of 10 they get a room after the prom, not to boink, but to get hammered. Okay, God boy, whatever you say.
They'll probably be,
Well, he's
too
right.
drunk anyway.
He's what?
He's right. That's
9 times out of 10?
I don't know if it's 9 times out of 10, but I think that
He says 9 times out of 10.
I think if it's not for sex, it is for party.
Sure.
Or both.
But don't you
Or
think
both, yeah.
they go, right then, hand in hand, come on.
You bet.
Yeah, the attempted sexing follows the drinking.
And attempted is the right word for it. Because, the young high school version of drinking is as much as possible in as short a period of time as you can, and pretty soon you're just on your face.
Which usually leads to...
Ugliness.
Here's Dana on the KGB. Hi, Dana. Dana. Time on the caller. That's a pity right there. Oh, he's on the extension. Oh, it's my little Dana.
It's your little Dana.
That's the name of a new little horse figure that's coming out from Hasbro.
Oh, I can't wait.
My little Dana. Hey, what'd you think of my hot neighbors?
Oh, my God.
And they were
Feeling
all
your spiky hair?
and they were all playing with your head last
all
night.
over me.
Yes, they were.
I was loving it.
I know you had visions of going home with a couple of those married ladies.
I heard some music in the background, but I couldn't quite place it.
Was it Mrs. Robinson?
I think so.
My little Dana's on the phone here. What's up?
Well, when I was in high school, one of the big things that we did
Last week.
2 years ago, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm still in high school. But one of the big things that we did was we'd always have our proms at hotels and nice ballrooms and such. And the big thing is to rent a room after, and get the room after and have a huge hotel party.
Yeah.
And, just get totally sloshed and have a blast.
And how many people were getting nailed?
You know what? Not too much of that was going on. A little bit. A couple of, couples would sneak off into their own rooms, but, you'd get hammered, just all fall asleep on the floor and have a good time.
Kids these days.
Well, what is the incidence of couples inaugurating a sex life on prom night? I mean, usually in my day, the couples who were having sex, the couples who were having sex on prom night had
Dumb
already
Dad and
had
I would
sex.
get into the Packard.
I told you, Dad wouldn't go anywhere near a prom.
Well, yeah,
Didn't have anything to do with it.
That did happen, but a
Not
lot
to
of
you,
it.
huh?
A lot of it is prom night. You're all dressed up. It's kind of a magical evening, and it's just one of those things that does happen.
All right.
So
thank you, Dana.
No problem.
I want to hear from people who gave away their flower on prom night. Well, isn't that where it's supposed to happen?
Well, that's tradition, but it just wasn't the case when I was in high school.
Yeah, that's the tradition. 888-570-1015. Direct connect here to KGB. You're with Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw.
The comments and opinions of Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw may not reflect those of the staff and management of KGB FM. But
what's going on?
Just getting to work.
Talk to me. What's up? What's on your mind?
I on prom night only made it to third base.
Hey, congratulations. Let's make sure we know the bases properly. Shall we discuss this so that we all know the bases properly?
Yeah,
The way I know it. The way I knew it is first base is making out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second base would be hootage.
Feely, yeah.
Under the bra, right?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Third base.
No!
Right?
Well, only on her side. I didn't get anything.
Oh. And then home runs going all the way.
That's right.
Are we all in agreement on that in terms of the bases?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got that far?
I got that far, but couldn't get any further.
Nothing back for you.
No, I
That's
tried and tried and tried.
That is a pity.
Had you had never been with her before, right?
No.
Yeah. And did you ever after that?
Well, yeah, but I don't know.
Was
It
she the
one of
prom
those-
queen?
No.
See, I think the ultimate is, I think you have eternal mouth noise of confidence, bragging rights. If you bag the prom queen.
Yep.
Yeah, but she was in the court.
She was in the court of queens?
Yeah,
She was in the court.
In the queen's court.
But you only got to third base.
That means she was hagged out and not good enough to be the prom queen.
That's right. I mean, she wasn't sleeping with the right guy, so she could be the prom queen.
Maybe that was it.
Well, too bad.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
Hey, thanks, Dave.
Okay, Frank next year on the KGB. Frank, what's your story?
How you doing?
Good. Did you bag the prom queen on prom night?
Nah, but you bag your date and then you try to bag one or two other ones.
Oh, that's nice.
Say that again?
What was that?
What did you say?
Not only you try to bag your date, but through the night you try to pick one or two other ones out when they get ripped at the party at night.
How'd that work for you, Frank?
Advantage of them. What?
You find a lot of success in that method?
Oh yeah, we did it for a couple of years. It was,
Yeah.
that was our game.
Good talking to you. Someone's got to bag the prom queen.
Sure.
Someone's got to do it.
Absolutely.
I volunteer.
Was the prom queen just untouchable in your school?
I think I remember who the prom queen was. I think generally she was. She was revered and off limits for all of us dorks, so what the hell?
Oh, Chainsaw, you telling me you bagged the prom queen? Or is this going to be...
You were the prom queen.
No, but I saw her in the hall one time.
Second base.
Second base what?
Prom queen.
On prom night.
No.
Okay.
But I cheated because I was a sophomore at JC when she was a senior.
well, that
And you
doesn't
know what?
count.
All the seniors hated me.
Sure, but that doesn't count.
Didn't you hate the older guys who always...
Anthony Michael Hall standing on his tiptoes so he could touch the prom queen's hooters.
And if you're already in college and you're going back to high school proms, well, my friend.
What? What'd you say?
Sorry.
Say that again?
Well, my friend.
What? No, wait. What was the story?
If you're in college and you're going back to the high school prom.
Oh, I thought you were a sophomore in high school and you went to the senior prom.
At the JC. I was
and he was at the junior college.
Oh.
And he's going back to high school proms. Oh.
No, you got the second base with the prom queen.
That's just creepy.
So you got the second base with the prom queen on prom night?
No. I already said that. I said no, but with a prom queen when I was a sophomore at JC, which all the seniors hated me for because everybody hates the older guys who pluck the gems from your class.
I think if you bagged the prom queen on prom night, I mean, you're like Indiana Jones at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't you? Can you hear the music in your head?
You're the kid who just pulled the sword from the stone.
Yes, indeed. Here's Rick on the KGB. What's up there, Rick?
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I bagged someone on the Queen's Court.
See, that's not the prom queen. Queen's Court is okay. They're just a bunch of little sloppy little, wannabe prom maids.
The only thing is she has a TV personality here in San Diego.
She is or was?
Is or was?
She is or was?
Is.
Who?
I can't say who.
Oh, come on. Of course you can.
You're lying.
I talk to her.
Graham Ledger.
Hang on, I'm going to take you off the air. You're off the air. Who was it? All right, you're off the air. Who was it? Yeah, I promise. I can't tell you you're off the air and not have you off the air. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to put you back on the air. Hang on.
All right.
Never heard of her.
How do you do?
Oh, really?
Never heard of her.
Okay.
Don't even know who it was. Don't even know who it was.
Oh, Christ. I don't even get credit for doing it.
Don't get credit
Well,
for
call back
nothing,
later
Rick.
on, make up someone
11
better.
years later, I don't get no credit for still.
See you later.
I'm a punk rock prom queen. Brown paper magazine. Hotter than you've ever seen. Let me get 6 whole hours and 5 long days for all your lives to come undone.
Buzz in when you can name the band.
3 small words were way too late. You can't see that I'm the one.
Shelly.
Josie and the Pussycats?
Yeah.
Awesome.
How did you know?
Just do it.
No, come on. How did you know?
I'm your late night head run.
Well, I think I saw her on Regis and Kelly.
Yeah?
But I didn't see her sing. She just looks like she'd sound like this.
It's hard to believe this movie wasn't more successful with this kind of music in it. She's a punk rock prom queen.
A blackberry paradise. Have the sugar twice as fine. I don't want to treat you nice. Come on, baby, roll the dice. 6 whole hours and 5 long days for all your lives to come undone. And those 3 small words were way too late. Can't you see that I'm the one?
Mighty talented, those gals.
Josie!
Josie!
Is that Josie?
I'm looking for the guy who bagged the prom queen on prom night. We just want to bask in your coolness.
Someone did.
Come on, someone out there bagged the prom queen on prom night. I want to hear from you. 888-570-1015 is a direct connect here, the KGB. Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw!
Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw. We'll be right back. KGB.
This Mother's Day, Outback Steakhouse salutes mums everywhere.
No one ever loves you like your mom. Everything we owe to mom. We owe to mom. Even when she whacks you on the bum. Mom's the word, so the word is mum. That's the mum.
We know it's a full-time job being a mum. That's why this Mother's Day, we're open at 11 a.m. Enjoy a thick, juicy steak or grilled shrimp on the barbie. And how about a chocolate thunder from down under?
Come on, Bruce! One Mother's Day a year is fine for some. But we know a mother's job is never done. It's never done. You will always be our number one. Mum's the word, and so the word is mum. That's me, mum.
Mum's the word at Outback Steakhouse. This Mother's Day, we're open at 11 a.m. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Elaine, you don't know the first thing about first base.
Oh, well, I know something about getting to first base. And I know you'll never be there.
The way I figure it, I've already been there. And I plan on rounding second tonight at around 11 o'clock.
Well, I'd watch the third base coach if I were you, because I don't think he's waving you in.
How about you, Ruth? You bagged the prom queen? No. None of us here can claim bagging the prom queen on prom night. That's the ultimate coolness.
Yep.
There's nothing better. Was anybody here a prom queen?
Huh? Yeah, sure.
No?
No. Some dream I had one time.
Queen's Court, Shell?
No. I got kicked out of Pep Club for smoking cigarettes under the bleachers at about my sophomore year.
That's not very peppy.
And I think you had to be in Pep Club to be a prom queen.
Oh, really?
My brother bagged a prom queen on prom night.
Damn it.
Before he made out with you?
Never made out with me, Shell.
Oh.
Double timer? Making out with his brother when he's supposed to be bagging the prom queen.
You can't trust your brother. Who can you trust?
I don't know.
I need to talk to my agent about my image. I'm just getting smashed with these myths.
Jeremy.
Yo.
Welcome to the KGB.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing good. What's going on? How can I help you?
Well, they told me that you guys are looking for somebody that bagged a prom queen.
An actual
on
prom queen
night.
on prom night.
I did it 2 years in a row, 95 and 96.
Here we go now. Let's hear all about it. Come on.
95 was my junior year, and my girlfriend at the time went to a different high school, and it was her senior year.
You're a junior bagging the senior prom queen.
At a different high school.
Did you have a whip and a fedora?
I had a tutu and a miniskirt.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Because, she was a dancer.
Yeah.
And that's how I first met her. She was dancing at this club routine up at my school, and she was a prom queen at a rival high school, and I bagged her on prom night.
Damn. Damn.
Yep.
The rival school prom queen.
Bagged by a
Broomfield.
junior.
Oh.
Broomfield High School in Colorado.
And then what else happened?
Then my senior year, I had just broken up with my girlfriend.
The prom
And,
queen.
Right before her prom, and she won the prom queen, and I won prom king, and we did the final dance for the court. And right after that, we met up at a party, and we talked about our differences, and she ditched her dates, and I ditched mine, and we went back to my hotel.
Very impressive.
Pretty cool. I'd say you are very cool. A very cool cat indeed.
Thank you, Jeremy. Consecutive prom queens.
Wow.
Here's Chris next year on the KGB. How you doing there, Chris? Chris! Time on the color. That's a
Bagging a
pity.
prom queen now.
He's bagging her right now. JR, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Talk to me.
Hey, my senior year, I bagged the prom queen, and she wasn't my date.
How'd you snag the prom queen? How'd she not have a date?
She had a date, actually. We went back to a party, and I was with pretty much her best friend. We were just friends. Took her date got smashed, so I took both the girls home, dropped off my date first. I went to her house to drop her off. She asked me to come inside, and we took care of a little business.
How do you get smashed when you're dating the prom queen and you're probably going to bag the prom queen and you blow your one chance at eternal coolness?
He's just not a very smart man, I guess.
I'll tell you how it happens, David. Not that I know, but I know from relative experiences. You think, if I just have a shot, I'll get that little bit of courage to get up the courage to go make the move.
Yeah.
You need a lot of courage, then.
You know what? That's one shot wasn't enough courage. I'm not brave enough yet. Oh, but I get you. 3. And then by the time you do it, you're face down in somebody's toilet. Asleep. And you know
What a great start and what an awful ending. Yeah.
Kind of like a wedding night, huh, Shell?
Whatever.
Thank you,
At least
JR.
the pizza boy delivered.
Why do you think I called?
And an extra pepperoni.
I wonder if there are lonely pent-up prom queens who went home unbagged.
That's a good question.
That's a sad story right there.
Because, I can't remember who our prom queen was dating, and I'm not sure that she would have been in the bag arena that night.
I was unimpressed with our prom queen.
Really?
Yeah, she was just a regular girl. I mean, she wasn't this glamorous,
Yeah.
untouchable.
Yeah.
She was just nice and popular, and everybody liked her.
Right.
Don't you
Everyone
hate people
was.
like that?
It wasn't even that. She was just a regular girl, and she happened to be going out with the captain of the soccer team, and all of a sudden, she fell out of the popularity tree and hit every branch on the way down, and she's prom queen next thing you know.
You mean in your town?
Mary Cerny. What the hell is that? What is Mary Cerny doing as prom queen?
Well, when you're dating the captain of the soccer team.
Well, he was a cool dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who was he?
I don't know. I think he's dead now, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a good guy though. But I was just surprised that she turned out to be prom, and he was prom king, of course.
Sweethearts.
I think if you've got a certain amount of popularity, you should be excluded from being prom king or queen. You've already got everything going for you.
That's true.
How about tossing it to some skinny little loser like me? Well, seriously.
It didn't happen, David.
Towel boy for the field hockey team.
I'm in sports. That's sports.
Here is Jim next year on the KGB. How you doing there, Jim?
Good. How are you? Who's this?
It's Dave.
Dave, you're the man.
It's Big D.
You are the man.
That is true. I just realized you're right. So you bagged a prom queen on prom night?
Yeah, what happened was I was a wallflower and kind of shy, and I didn't go to my prom. But the year after, I'd been playing in a band through high school, and the year after I played at another school here in town, and I bagged their prom.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Full baggage?
Full baggage.
Full baggage.
Wow.
Full baggage.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And I think if you're going to bag a prom queen, it's just one night, then you're done with her. Sorry. What?
Well, she's not the prom queen anymore.
No, it's
The
all
bloom
down.
is
You know
off
what?
the rose.
You get to be prom queen
If
for
you're
a
prom
year.
queen on prom night,
Yeah.
it's all downhill after that.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Got higher standards. All right, we'll get you on the radio next. Dial 888-570-1015, the KGB.
Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw will be right back.
This is the KGB.
What fascinates us most? UFOs? ESP? SUVs? So maybe SUVs aren't paranormal, but they certainly do qualify as phenomena. And it may well have begun with the first Ford Explorer. When the Explorer appeared, no one had ever heard of a sport utility vehicle. Today, SUVs are just about everywhere you look. There are over 60 different species, and as they multiply, they are becoming more and more alike. Which makes the brand new 2002 Ford Explorer even more exceptional. It has a longer wheelbase, a wider stance, a roomier interior. It has a first-time ever four-wheel independent suspension for a smoother ride. And it has an available third-row seat, which turns it into a 7-passenger vehicle. It balances function, beauty, and a perfect sense of the moment. The all-new 2002 Ford Explorer, because your imagination has no boundaries.
Everybody's doing it. Catch the wave. It's gonna take you away. See through, 'cause doing it is hot. With everything you've got, doing it, see through. On the water, in the sun, everybody's doing it, good and fun. Everybody's doing it, see through.
Getting the best life has to offer is as easy as getting on a new for 2001 Sea-Doo watercraft model. The same innovation that continues to win us awards and recognition delivers all the high performance and acceleration you can handle. It also offers you all the stability and storage you'll need to explore or tow all day. No matter what your personality, we have a 2, 3, or 4-seater watercraft that's your perfect match. So visit San Diego's House of Motorcycles and start getting some real action over the weekend. San Diego's House of Motorcycles, 4904 El Cajon Boulevard, San Diego. On El Cajon Boulevard between Fairmont and College.
Step right up to the Fox Sunday Carnival, where we're getting ready for the grand opening of Springfield's newest theme park.
Now this is living party!
On an all-new Simpsons. And be there when Malcolm and his brothers are trapped in a circus after hours with all the freaks. It's an all-new Malcolm in the Middle. Then get Get your ticket for the scariest ride of all, The X-Files.
Mulder, the victim had reptile venom in his eyes.
This is one episode you don't dare watch alone. David Duchovny stars in an all-new episode of The X-Files right after a new Simpsons and Malcolm in the Middle.
It all starts Sunday at 8 on Fox 6. Is God real? What happens when you pray? Questions of faith. But now, a new discovery. Actual changes in the human body. Some say it's evidence of a higher consciousness. Esther Troll reports. Wired to believe. Sunday after The X-Files. Only on Fox 6 News.
Brisky, have you seen this report out in Nevada?
What is it?
Some scary stuff, man. They found something down there nobody's been able to explain.
What?
Some family brought in a hamburger bun with 100% pure beef patties on top.
Yeah? So what's the big deal?
Get this, the meat, it was never frozen.
Oh my.
If you're looking for something unbelievable, try the delicious Double-Double at In-N-Out Burger. 2 fresh 100% pure beef patties, real American cheese, hand-leafed lettuce, juicy tomatoes, and our original spread, all stacked high on a freshly baked bun.
Krieger, do you know what the odds are of finding a burger in America that was never frozen?
Hey, if you think that's shocking, get this. The lab also analyzed the French fries they brought in.
Don't tell me. They were never frozen?
You got it.
For the In-N-Out nearest you, call toll-free 1-800-786-1000.
Hi, this is Shotgun Tom Kelly for North County GMC. If you're in the market for a new truck or SUV, you owe it to yourself to visit North County GMC. We stock and sell more professional-grade GMC vehicles than anyone in San Diego County. Come and experience volume pricing during our inventory reduction event. Brand new Sierra extended cabs from just $17,900, or Sonoma extended cabs from just $13,800. Or how about $6,000 off a 2001 Jimmy 4-door, or buy the awesome new Yukon for as low as $29,900 and 1.9% APR to qualified buyers. It's never been easier to buy or lease a new GMC from North County GMC, with rebates of up to $3,500 and APRs as low as 0.9 on select models. The inventory reduction sale ends May 15th at North County GMC in the Escondido Auto Park.
$17,900 on Sierra number 279-407 after $1,000 rebate. $6,000 off on Jimmy number 124-632 after $3,500 rebate. $29,900 on Yukon number 269-647 after $1,000 loyalty rebate. 0.9% APR on above average credit. See dealer for details.
1015 KGB, the best of Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw Show. Boyer with you, and I want to invite you to join the KGB for the Mexican Fiesta Block Party at the 4th Annual Tequila, Cinco, and the Gas Lamp, presented by Margaritaville Tequila. The party starts at 4 o'clock and runs until midnight. You'll enjoy live music all night from Rockola, Viva Santana, and the band Common Sense. Drink grande margaritas, eat delicious, authentic Mexican food, and check out the world's largest sombrero. Tickets, $10 in advance, but you're probably too late to do that, so count on paying $15 at the door. More information, 619-233-5008. This is definitely a drinking and carousing event. You do have to be 21 years or older. We want to see you at the Tequila, Cinco, and the Gas Lamp, presented by Margaritaville. Tonight, San Diego's world-class rock. This is the 1015 KGB. Come on back to Dean of American Sportscasters one more time with a look at sports. What do you know? This is the best of DSC. You've got it here on the 1015 KGB.
hey. That's what I say. Get no. Get no.
1015 KGB, the best of Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw Show. Racing tonight at Cajon, it's the GA Mods, the late model Sportsman, the Ponies, the Street Stocks, and later in the night, you'll see the Destruction Derby taken to the infield. The 527 Big Bad Burrito Bomber, Sombrero Mexican Food, 1015 KGB, Tropical Attitudes Gear Race Team. We have the night off, along with Randy Wallace and the 1015 KGB, Carl Strauss Breweries, Lakeside Radiator Race Team, our division. We have a bye week. What do you know? And back with you on the 12th. Looking forward to seeing you there then. Man, you know what? It just does not get better for the Padres, does it? Yes, it could. With details, let's go to the chainsaw.
Oh, get everybody in the sports world. The Cubs beat the Padres 8-3 yesterday at Wrigley Field, and Padre announcer Ted Leitner is taking the heat today for another whammy.
3-2. Sosa. High fly ball with the wind. Here it goes. Deep right center field. In the bleachers and gone. Like I said, good time for the wind to pick up. Or in Garbus's case, a bad time for the wind to pick up. 2-1 Padres. Sosa has number 8.
Thank you, Ted. Talking about that wind the entire at-bat, inviting the gods to help a routine fly blow out of the park. Yesterday's crime adding to the list of Leitner whammies of the past. If Ted Leitner was broadcasting the Hindenburg landing, chances are he'd say something like, I'll bet that thing doesn't blow up. Barbecue all its passengers. Whoops, son of a gun. Oh, the humanity. Ted Leitner was in Dallas just as the motorcade turned into Dealey Plaza. He'd probably observed, pretty uneventful ride so far. Whoops! Hey, Jackie, nice catch. Well, yesterday in Oakland, after 2 days of jinxing the action the moment before it unfolded, Ted Leitner made it 3 in a row when Oakland slugger Jason Giambi came up to the plate with the bases loaded.
He's been up a bunch with the bases loaded. He hadn't done much. I shouldn't say that, because he just did. A high, towering drive, deep right center field. Sprague at the wall. Forget it. Grand slam, home run.
Cookie, you're as sick as I am. Don't you forget it.
But if I were ever pass you along in life again, and you were laying there dying of thirst, I would not give you a drink of water. Yeah. I would let the vultures take you and do whatever they want with you. Yeah.
I don't know if the punishment calls for that, but something.
I'm all right with that.
Okay. Padres Cubs again today. First pitch 11:20 on News Radio 600. Coupled with the Dodgers 7-3 win over Cincinnati, the Padres slipped back to 5 games out of first. There was bedlam in Minneapolis last night. Former Twin Chuck Knobloch appeared in the Metrodome for the first time since 1998 when he had asked for and received a trade from the Twins to the Yankees. Last night, Twin fans pelted the Yankee left fielder with plastic beer bottles, batteries, golf balls, and the dreaded hot dog. Oh! Umpires almost called the game, but thanks to an heroic scolding by the PA announcer, the game was continued.
Your attention, please. If the trouble does not stop in left field, the game will be forfeited and the Yankees will win. Now quit this.
Now knock it off. The Twins win 4-2 after all. George Steinbrenner, are you happy with this?
He started it.
Well, you're right, he did. And you know something, sports fans? Unless you've just come from Dave's Free Thursday Golf, if you're carrying golf balls to a baseball game, you're in trouble. You're a trouble. You're just trouble waiting to happen, sports fans. And a hot dog, forget about it. That is lethal ammo.
Yeah.
You've had a lot of hot dogs bounce off your forehead, haven't you, Boyer?
No, Shane.
Gulls hockey still alive in Idaho, winning Game 3 last night, 4-3 in overtime to pull within 2 games to 1. Game 4 tomorrow in Boise. The Gulls are still alive. Meanwhile, in the National,
You can tell my distinguished colleague that he can meet me in the parking lot whenever he chooses, even if he is wearing a dress.
يريد مواجهتك في الساحة خارجا حتى ولو كنت مرتديا ثيابا
Safir,
مع أنه شريف فذلك أمه ضاجت مع جمل.
Well?
I'd rather not say, sir.
What do you mean, rather not say?
Well, Mr. Ambassador, to be perfectly frank, it was about your mother, sir.
My mother?
What about my mother?
Well, sir, he suggests that your mother maintained a close, intimate relationship.
Relationship? Yes, sir. With a camel. And after the camel killed itself in shame, your mother apparently took on the entire He started it.
Skip-Ball Association. The Sacramento Kings came back to beat the Phoenix Suns again, erasing a 19-point deficit to win Game 5, 88-82. The Kings advanced to play the Lakers in the second round starting Sunday at Staples. Also last night, Sixers ousted Indiana. Toronto tied up the Knicks 2-2. Utah, Dallas decide with Game 5 tonight. The L.A. Kings, what are they? Oh, they got shut out by Patrick Waugh. 3-0 last night. Avalanche lead that Western Semi 3-1. In other sports, David.
I see no other sports, Chainsaw.
What if a confused person thought there might be other sports?
9:27, 18 seconds. This is your 101.5 KGB Sports Network. Oh, my.
Oink, oink. Oink, oink. It's the best of Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw. This is the 101.5 KGB FM San Diego. Best of DSC going back in the crate for a Saturday. The whole show with you Monday morning live, 6 in the morning. Good God, do we have to get up that early? Looking forward to talking with you then. Have a great weekend. I'll be into the bread van doing a timing chain. Want to see you in the Gas Lamp tonight for Cinco in the Gas Lamp, presented by the KGB, Tequiza, and Margaritaville Tequila. Kicks off around 4. We're going to be running that thing until midnight. Live music from Rockola, Viva Santana, Common Sense. Drink grande margaritas, eat delicious, authentic Mexican food, and check out the world's largest sombrero. All the fun and shenanigans set you back $15 at the door. More information, 619-233-5008. There will be some drinking and carousing going on tonight at the Gas Lamp. You do have to be 21 years of age or older. For the Tequiza, Cinco in the Gas Lamp from Margaritaville, and it is tonight. Make your plans, book your taxis in advance, have a great time. Back with you Monday, the whole show at full strength. See you then.
There's a lady who's sure all it glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came. And she's buying a stairway here. There's a sign on the wall what she wants to be sure. 'Cause you know sometimes words have meaning. In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Sometimes all of our thoughts are misgiven.
Hi, this is Robert Plant. You're listening to the home of rock and roll, 101 KGB FM.